The inquiry into the infected blood scandal has today been hearing how thousands of patients were unwittingly given blood transfusions contaminated with hepatitis and HIV. Many only found out years later when their health deteriorated and it was too late to save them.
Among them, Paul Bourn from Lyndhurst, infected in 1981 following a road accident. He died in 2013 from liver failure caused by hepatitis C. His family described his suffering as a living nightmare. Rachel Hepworth has the story.
I'm so grateful to have known such a brilliant man.
It's been 9 years since Paul died, but his family still live with the pain every day.
I miss him hugely, everybody knows.
I just wish I could have had more time to get to know him better.
Bronnie was just 4 when her father was diagnosed with hepatitis C. Paul had unknowingly been given infected blood years earlier after a motorbike crash in which he'd lost a leg. He developed emphysema too, but it was the Hep C treatment, a cocktail of toxic drugs, that changed him completely.
It turned him from great chap to be around to somebody who was just angry all the time, depressed, angry, aggressive. You didn't know what you were coming home to. We lost a huge part of him through that.
Paul persisted with the maximum 2 rounds of treatment, but neither worked, leaving him with terminal liver damage. The virus meant there could be no more children. Preventing infection took over their lives, and the family had to deal with ignorance and stigma.
Children at her school were foul to her, foul. You know, your father's disabled, he's ill, he should be dead, he's got a virus. You know, just really unpleasant, really hard time.
Sadly, their story is not unique. The infected blood scandal has touched thousands of lives, including hundreds of haemophiliacs given infected blood products during the 1970s and 80s. It's feared many patients may still be undiagnosed, having undergone routine transfusions during the same period. Paul died in 2013, one of nearly 3,000 lives lost.
Somebody gave him a virus that killed him, and through no fault of his own. The inquiry has been hard to be part of, but wonderful to be part of. You're kind of fighting for them and for what they went through.
We can say how it affected us, but we can't really know how it affected him truly in his own mind and how he really felt. So it's a shame he can't speak for himself, but at least we can try and advocate on his behalf, and I hope that we do the best job that we can for him.
Bronnie now works as a clinical negligence lawyer, in part influenced by her father. She and her mother want testing for Hep C to be more widely available and awareness raised so that no one else has to go through the same experience.
Rachel has been following the inquiry today and it is in our newsroom now. Rachel, as you say, Paul's case, sadly not unique.
No, indeed. Today we've heard many more heartbreaking stories of patients infected through blood transfusions between the late 1970s and early 90s. They include many mothers given infected blood during childbirth, some who would later die from hepatitis or AIDS. One even who, because she didn't know she was infected, went on to have another baby who was also infected and died. Some were given blood during leukemia treatment, often children who would then die not from leukemia but from hepatitis or AIDS, and in one reported case from CJD. While many testified they had no idea about the risks of transfusion and would have refused if they'd been given an informed choice. This inquiry, led by Sir Brian Langstaff, is an opportunity to hear testimony from those affected and their families, to ask how such a systemic catastrophe could happen and to learn lessons from the mistakes. At least 3,000 people are known to have died, but there are estimates it could be many more times that. Those patients who have survived live with constant ill health, many unable to get compensation because they can't prove exactly when the infection occurred. And many, like P, also want to raise awareness that others may still not know they're infected. They're asking for screening to be more widely available.
Rachel Hepworth, thank you.